Hey, everybody, it is Mickey, and this is Mickey Talks. Today, Matt Davis is off. I am still doing the show. I'm very excited. When I started this show, I told everybody it's going to be a show that basically is about anything I feel like talking about. And that's what the show's been so far. Matt had some pre-booked things when we started this show that I understood, so that's the only reason Matt's not here today. But I'm going to have a conversation today with someone I met who you'll meet in a minute. But I want to tell everybody a couple things first before I get into the show today. Number one, big, huge things happening with this show. To be honest with you, I can't believe it. I'm blown away by it. I'm almost, what's the word? I'm so overwhelmed by the outpouring of support. And there have been people very recently, as in this morning, that are reaching out about sponsoring the show, about being advertisers. It's really unbelievable. We're also not on YouTube today because Matt's not here, and I'm basically doing this show with my cousin Anthony helping me. So I want to thank Anthony, who's running the switcher, but that's the reason we're only doing it on Facebook today. Next week, we'll be back with kind of a new look, broadcasting everywhere. I'm so excited. Live shows coming up. The Grumwald Club in Canton. I will be there on the 12th, I believe. If I'm going to post shows coming up on this Facebook page, so you'll be able to see that. Let's see what else. April 18th and 19th, just a couple weeks away, I will be in Hanover, Pennsylvania, where I am filming a special weird thing. I am trying to do 4-hour shows, 4 one-hour shows, and trying to repeat as little as possible of anything I do. So I'm trying to do 4 different hours. Some of it, I'm hoping I don't have to cheat, but I'm not going to lie, I might. That's a lot to ask somebody, 4 shows in 2 days, completely different. But you can please go to Church of Satire. That's church, like you're going to church, of satire in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I want to see everybody else there that can make it. And thank you all for the support. And it's getting wild. I have some guests booked in the future that I'll tell you about later in the show it's really awesome. I'm just super stoked. Okay, I said today on the show that today's kind of a show about the human experience. When I first started this show, I had people who loved me very much, basically saying, just be yourself, be honest, tell the truth. People get it. And I started doing that. And I've met people along the way. And the reason I kind of am doing this show this way is because I learned something. I'm not unique. I'm not the reason, or I'm not the sole human being that feels the way I do or have experienced things the way I have. I guess the only thing about me that's unique is I kind of feel like it's good to talk about. Like I've shared what I've been through. There's a lot more I'm going to share one day, but I've been very honest. And about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, somewhere around there, I was at the Fallston Barrel House, which I love to go to, especially on Wednesday nights. I just love Scott Spivey. I don't know if you know Scott and Stephanie. They play there every other week. Rob Fahey plays there a lot on Wednesdays. It's just a fun time. It's musicians, it's fans just hanging out. And I go up there, and one night I meet a young lady who I thought was really cool and got to know a little bit about her. And then I think the same night I met her father.
Same night.
The same night, yeah. And you're going to meet Mia, whose voice you hear. You're going to see her in a second. But I met her dad the same night. Turned out we knew a bunch of the same people. We're kind of the same ilk, her dad and I. But I really enjoyed my conversation with this lady. So right now I would like to, can I use your last name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'd like to introduce everybody to Mia Trionfo. Hi, Mia.
Hi.
Now, Mia, I guess the thing that caught my attention about you first was you were there with your wife.
Yes.
Okay. Your wife's name is Caitlin.
Yes.
And I got talking to you guys. You're, younger than me. You're older than you look. I'll say that. So I'm not out there, talking to 20-year-olds or anything. I will let you say your age if you would like. You
Yeah,
don't
I'm
have-
29, about to turn 30.
Yeah,
so.
you're, a woman.
Yes, I am.
Yes, and your wife and me and your wife and yourself, we just had fun talking, and then it got a little deep, and we both just kind of opened up to each other, and I found the conversation to be amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I thought you were really cool. I kind of understood what you went through. And I'm going to let you talk about what you want, but I'm going to paraphrase. You're a young lady that lost her mother.
Yes.
And how long ago did you lose your mom?
My mom passed away November 20th of 2024. So it's been about 4 months.
Do you want to say how your mom went? I mean, I'll
Yeah,
let you.
so my mom had lung cancer for 6 years.
Yeah.
That's more time that we thought we were going to get with her.
Right.
But it was tough, and towards the end, the probably hardest thing I had to do was let her know, I don't want you to stay here, suffer for me.
Yeah.
Go with peace,
Absolutely. A lot of people, I've shared this before, but when my mom, who passed away, like your mother, way too young,
Yep.
it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, was to come to grips with the fact that she's not here anymore.
100%.
It's the weirdest thing. I believe when parents get to a certain age, you kind of are able to. I mean, it's life, and you get it. Your parents are in their 80s, 90s. It makes sense.
Exactly.
But how old was your mom?
My mom was 56.
I mean, that's just
Way too young. And my mom was an amazing human being, which
Yeah.
makes it even that much harder.
Yeah.
Maybe if she was not so great of a mom, it wouldn't
Right.
be as hard.
And that night, I met your dad. And I think the reason I really enjoyed you both so much was the way both of you talked about your mom, your dad's wife.
Yeah.
And your dad is, for me to explain this in a way that people would understand, it's a successful man, but of completely humble, and you'd never know anything about the man by looking at him.
Absolutely.
Or he doesn't talk about anything major about himself. But that night he talked about what he went through with your mom.
Yes.
And losing, as he put it, the absolute love of his life.
Oh, yeah. They were 100% meant to be together.
Yeah, and you had the joy at times, I'm sure, of seeing that between the two of them.
They showed it all the time.
Yeah.
It was never a secret that they loved each other. Everybody saw it.
Your wife, Caitlin,
Yes.
who is hilarious, by the way.
She is very funny. I'll give her that.
She's a little different than you, but I see why your relationship works.
Yes. We're kind of a little bit opposite.
Yeah, she's kind of a ball buster, man. And she is, but you can see the sweetness in her. But she, both of you that night were so much fun, and at the same time, you were so, I guess, honest, real, raw.
I try to be that way. I just try to be raw with everybody I meet
Yeah.
because I feel like if I can't be raw and be myself
Right.
when I'm talking to people, like something I may say may help somebody in the long run.
Right,
May
absolutely.
really be a difference in somebody's life. So
Let me ask you a question, because I want to know more about you, and you're a very open person, which I really respect. What age did you know you were gay?
I knew in elementary school.
Now, stop right there, because I'm going to be honest, there was a lot of reasons I wanted to have you on. Number one is there's a lot going on in the country right now with other things and the entire LGBTQ. I don't know the other add-ons. I apologize.
No, don't apologize. It's
Okay,
fine.
I don't know them. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But I have found in my life, I have gay friends who, I mean, other than sleeping with the same sex, them and I are no different.
Yeah.
Other than their sexual pleasure or
Right.
partner. But it's interesting to me to understand it. So you said in grade school?
Yeah, I think I was 4th or 5th grade, but I didn't come out until I was 20.
Okay. Had you ever dated boys?
I dated boys all throughout the time to try to hide it.
Now you're 30 years old. I can ask you this. And again, I'm doing this to get honest. You did have sex with boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
When you first remember being attracted to women, was your original thought, this is bad? Like there's something wrong with me?
No.
Walk me through that.
Well, for starters, my mom was bisexual.
Your mom was?
Yes.
Okay.
She told me she fell in love with my father, and that's how it was. But if she met a woman before him, or, you know, she would have gone with whoever she loved.
Right.
So I was never like, this is wrong. It was more just like scared of what other people would think of me.
Right.
And I think I just tried to kind of hide it for so long. And then when I finally came out, I go ahead.
No, no, please continue. I do this a lot. It looks like I'm telling somebody to stop. It's how I think out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But let me
You're
ask
fine.
you something about that, because you said that you jumped to when I was 20.
Yeah.
And you came out. So let's back up a little bit. So you're dating boys.
Right.
At that time, young men, I don't mean to say boys, but you're dating young men. At that time, were you actually turned on by men? Were you doing this out of what you thought? You understand what I'm asking you? Were you attracted to men at all?
No, not really.
Then let's go into that real quick.
Yeah.
What made you do it? Why did you date boys?
Because it was normal.
Right. It was the norm.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be talked about. I didn't want to, I could have dated guys and not had sex with them,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they would probably break up with me in a
I
week.
understand. So, would you say that you felt like a lot of pressure from society to be a straight woman and have a relationship with a boy?
Absolutely.
Which,
100%.
do you not think in the last, say, 10, 15 years, that's kind of going away? Like, if gay teenagers especially, and young adults, I find them to be way more open, way more comfortable. It's much more enjoyable for me when I know someone's gay and they're not lying to me.
Right.
Or watching them live a life that I know doesn't make them happy.
Right.
And would you say that really is what it comes down to?
I think for the most part,
Yeah.
society is kind of just accepted.
Right.
But I think in some aspects we're still a little lagging, like
Yeah.
with trans situations, stuff like that. But I'm
Can I ask you something about the trans thing? And
Yeah.
if you don't want to talk about it, we'll just say
Yeah,
don't
no
talk
problem.
about it. And I don't want to put you on the spot. Do you understand me as a straight man when a man says to me, I am a woman? And I go, you're not. And let me finish this so I don't sound disrespectful. When I say you're not, what I really mean is this. Biologically and in reality, that word's horrible to say, my reality.
right.
There's two specific types of human beings. One with male chromosomes, one with female. I can understand that someone thinks, believes, and actually feels the opposite.
Right.
The problem I've had this far with all of it is that I don't understand it, but I feel like I'm being forced to just accept something that I don't understand. To me, it's like, can't we talk about this and figure out what you're actually saying instead of screaming at me that you can have a baby when you were born with like you're a man, but you were born with a vagina, and you can have a baby, but you're telling me that you're now a man and a man can have a baby.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with the fact that like trans female to male or
Yeah.
no, male to female.
Yeah.
You're sorry, like you can't have babies.
Right.
Like, what is the point of saying that? I don't really get it.
I don't either. I don't understand the men that say they need tampons in the men's. I'm like, that's the stuff where I just go, what? Like, this is not. I don't feel their argument is helping them.
No, it's not.
Okay, so as someone that's not a straight person, and I know you are very supportive of the trans community.
Yes, absolutely. I have good friends who are
Yeah,
trans.
and I'll be honest, I don't believe I know any like trans people very well.
Yeah.
But as a gay person and a supporter of the trans community, do you understand me as a straight man just being like, yeah, I just don't get it. Like, it confuses me. Therefore, I don't even know how to act.
No, I totally understand that because I think until somebody is willing to educate you, and I know you're willing to listen, so
100%, that's
it's
why we're
just
talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just got to be somebody who's willing to really explain it and be open and honest.
Yeah.
I think that's really all it takes is to kind of understand where they're coming from and understand their views. But, at the end of the day, they feel the way they feel. But I think it would look better on the community
Yeah.
if we would stop the screaming, the name calling, any
Yeah,
of
like,
that. Like,
I'm not a bigot because I don't understand how a woman can have a beard and two testicles. Like, I don't think that makes me a horrible human being when a woman tells me she has a bigger dick than I do. Like, I go, what? Like, that's where I just go, I'm confused.
Yeah, no.
Right? And listen, there's not a thing on earth I would ever do to anyone for any reason in that way.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't. I'm not going to sleep with that person. I'm
Right.
sure they don't want to sleep with me. End of story. We can be friends. I just want to be able to understand it. I don't want to harp on this, but I just wanted to know where you stood hearing a straight person try to explain it sincerely and not from judgment.
No, I totally understand that. I think that it needs to be more open. People need to be more open. Trans people need to be more open to talk about, and not. And this goes for the whole gay community, I think.
Yeah,
Not
totally.
get so defensive because this is somebody who just wants to learn about you and learn
Right.
why you are the way you are or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So I don't see any problem in having a normal conversation, but when they start to raise the voice and all that, and
Yeah, I'm going to take it back to gay and bisexual for a second. And I have another question. LG, or say them?
LGBT.
Right. You're the lesbian. That's the first one.
Yeah.
So men are only gay now? Like when what the G, when it says gay, I'm curious.
Yes, that's just men.
So you should only call a man gay and only call a woman what?
Lesbian.
So you're not gay?
Apparently not. No, I want to actually tell you a funny story about
Yeah,
this.
I'd love to hear this.
Me and my wife went to a drag show,
Uh-huh.
and they said all the gays say hey, and we were like hey, and they were like not you lesbians, and I was like, I've always thought I was gay. Like, I mean, I thought it was just like a blanket term, but I guess we can only call men gay. I don't know.
Is that what it is now?
I guess.
Yeah.
That one night really shook me. I was like, what do you mean I'm not gay? I guess.
Well, I think the funny to me the funniest part about all this is that the grammar police are the ones that have really destroyed this entire movement.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes from your side. No offense. Meaning, if I say the wrong thing, like honestly, I'm Hitler. You
Oh,
know what
no,
I mean?
yeah.
And like, I do think like meeting you was awesome because I'm like, all right, this lady's gay, she's married, but she's awesome. And then you meet. I think the problem, maybe I'm wrong. You guys don't always pick the best spokespeople. It seems
No,
like
I agree.
the gay community, the lesbian community, the activism, which I get because we do need awareness, we do need understanding,
do.
but it kind of sometimes comes from this place where you're like, all right, I don't know what to do, I give up, I surrender, tell me where to write the check.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think that's gonna work. I think these kind of conversations that you and I are having
Absolutely.
is how we make progress when we're real and we're honest and we're not trying to sugarcoat something. And if somebody gets their knickers in a bunch, well, that's on them. Like, you know, grow up, cupcake.
Yeah.
Life's not simple.
That's how I kind of feel. I feel like, if everybody has their own opinions and views. And if you can't just talk to someone and respect their opinion and view on whatever it is, you may not agree with it. But I think that being an adult is about having conversations with people.
Yeah.
And just be willing to talk. Like I don't get the whole angry movement.
Well, I think the angry movement comes from frustration
Yeah.
on part of the community. It has. I will say that in the last 10 years, I believe the progress that the lesbian, gay, bisexual, that entire community has made has been incredible.
Oh, it has.
I mean, you walk in restaurants now, it's nothing to see two guys, you know, sitting there having drinks and kiss each other, or two ladies, same thing. Like, I'm not going to lie, 20 years ago, I'd be like, holy shit, that dude just kissed that dude. And it wasn't because it bothered me two men kissed. It was just they did it in front of everybody. Like, so for me, it was almost like, I guess part of me, when I think back on it, is like, it's kind of punk rock. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
They were
no.
in love, and they loved each other, and they were at a bar, and they were drinking, and he wanted to kiss his boyfriend. What the hell am I?
Right, exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. A couple more beers, I'd have kissed his boyfriend. He was a good-looking man.
Cutie. Your type, Mickey.
No, not really my type, but he was a handsome, handsome fella. Let's go. Let's wind this back a little bit. So, you get out of, say, high school, that age, 18, whatever. At that point, you're dating boys still?
Yeah, I think I came out at 19 when I was about to turn 20.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship for quite a while, like almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
And I knew he was going to be my last boyfriend because I knew I was going to come out after him.
Right.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of held on to that for a little while.
How did he take it? Did you
Um,
tell him, look, I'm gay?
no, I didn't. I didn't tell him. We broke up over other situations.
But does he know the real reason is because you were gay?
No, probably not.
Let me ask you an honest question. I'm not trying to make you, and this is just for anyone watching. Don't you think it would have been better if you
Yeah,
said,
probably.
Yeah,
Well, he broke up with me, so like I didn't really feel the need to.
he's a
explain
homophobe,
anything.
isn't he? Is that what it was? Was he homophobic?
I don't know, to be honest.
Have you ever spoken to him since?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Really? So it was a bad breakup regardless.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
ya.
Yeah. I was actually going into a mental hospital, and he broke up with me the night before. So.
How old were you when you went in?
So I've been twice.
First time, how old?
I was 13 or 14.
And why? Why did you go?
Because I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, you were suicidal, right?
Yeah. I struggled with mental health. I started therapy at age 5.
Yeah.
I've struggled with it almost my whole life. So it's just.
Did you ever have a moment in your teens where you thought to yourself, I'm completely alone on this planet. No one even understands, A, how fucked up I am, B, I don't understand how to get better, and C, the worst part, I'm going to end up dead because I can't take this anymore. Did you feel those things?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually put myself into the mental hospital. I asked my parents if they would take me because I didn't want to die, but I knew I had plans, I had feelings that I didn't want to be here anymore. It was just getting too hard.
Yeah, and just so you know, I went through the same thing twice.
Yeah.
About 8 years ago, things 7. I'm bad with dates. I have a lot of like kind of blank time
Me
in my
too.
head. Yeah, you get it. You just things go away in your mind, your memory. I've twice where I was, and the last time was the end of last year when I checked myself in again, and went and got real help this time, and I listened.
Yeah.
I fucking listened for the first time.
That's what it takes. Like I said,
Yeah.
I've been in therapy since I was 8 or
Right.
5 or
When'd
whatever.
When'd you start listening?
Like this year? I don't know.
And you know, to people listening right now, I want to talk to you because I know there's people right now that are low and depressed, and you're thinking this is it, or you're thinking life can't get worse. A, it can get worse, but I promise you this: it definitely can get better.
Absolutely.
What was your thing recently where you just something clicked? What was it that clicked, and you went, you know what? I can be okay. What was it for you?
So, to get there, I kind of have to talk about my mom's death.
Please.
So, the last couple moments, the last about 20 minutes to 30 minutes I had with my mom, we were.
You're talking about on her deathbed, basically.
Well, she was home at the time,
Right.
but we were sending her to Gilcrest.
Gotcha.
Whatever
You
it's
guys knew
called.
it was the end.
Yeah, we knew it was the end.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we did. And me and my mom hugged while we waited for the ambulance to get there for the entire time. We just held each other,
Wow.
tears dripping down our faces, but we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But it was like our souls were saying goodbye. And
Did you know it?
I knew it. I knew it.
While you in the moment, you knew this is the last true deep conversation I'm gonna have with my mother.
Yeah, and I kind of didn't even want to have a deep conversation. Me and my mom were both empaths. I get it from her, so I don't even have to ask my mom how she's doing or what she's
You
feeling.
just feel it.
I feel it.
I know that.
So when we were hugging, the only thing she said was, "I knew one day me and your dad were gonna make a beautiful baby girl."
Oh.
I said, "I love you so much." She said, "I love you so much more." That's
Yeah.
what she always said to me. I love
Yeah.
you more.
Yeah.
In that time, it felt like I gained some strength.
Yeah.
Like my mom took what she could away from me that was hurting me
Right.
and gave me some strength that I can't even explain because I am now off all of my medications. I started coming off them a week after she passed, and I've never felt better.
You know, medicine saved my life.
Yeah.
Medicine controlled my life. Medicine also hindered my life. Psychiatric medicine is something that I am not a doctor. And I don't want to give anyone advice on medicine. But I will say this. There were times in my life where I absolutely needed it.
Oh yeah.
There were times in my life when I didn't. Most of the time, I found that what the medicines made me able to do was cope. I could get through a day.
Yeah.
And then when things get bad, I don't care how much medicine you're on.
It doesn't matter.
And
You
that's why
still-
I believe a lot of people turn to drinking and drugs because it's a
Absolutely.
little stronger.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's a little more immediate.
Yeah.
But you got through all this time. I mean, and now,
Yeah, and I've replaced with supplements, things for anxiety, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
That my mom passed. So I've been on antipsychotics since I was 14 years old.
yeah. And so you've been on 16 years.
Yeah, so that medication, what it really does for anybody who doesn't know, is it controls your emotions and your feelings for you. So you don't have outbursts, anything like that.
Yeah.
And what that was really doing is now I'm off that medication, but my brain is still stuck in a 14-year-old on how to deal with my feelings.
Yeah.
I think I've learned along the way since coming off the medication kind of how to maneuver it myself
Mm-hmm.
and with a therapist. But I just, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're allowed to do that.
It happens all the time.
It's not a bad thing at all. Don't feel bad for 1 second. Do you think that when you go into relationships now, you meet somebody? I'm not talking about romantic relationships. You meet like you met me.
Yeah.
Are you able to understand people easier now?
Yes.
That you've been to the bottom and up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've always been a pretty empathetic person,
Yes.
like with everything, just because that's how I was raised. Both my parents are very empathetic, loving people. So
Would you call yourself, how do I word this? Would you call yourself, do you regret anything? Let me ask it that way. Do you regret anything at this point in your life? Do you have any major regrets that you think, wish, God damn it? Is there, not like something to do with your mom and her passing, that's obvious. Just in life, you think back on somebody or your dad or whatever it is. Is there anything that haunts you?
honestly, I've done a lot of work in therapy, so not really anymore. But there are things that you hear as a kid or as you're growing up that just stick with you.
Yeah.
I can't really in particular think of anything at this moment, but yeah, it's been that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you find that the more you kind of live life, the more you kind of understand the human experience in others?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I love talking about mental health because I think it needs to be talked about a lot more.
That's what this whole show started over.
Yeah.
I was basically at the bottom. I didn't have $4 to rub together a month ago. I'm
Right.
telling the God's honest truth to anybody listening. A month ago, I was almost 3 months behind on car payment. It was terrible. Excuse me, just in a horrible place. And I said one day, all right, well, nobody's going to come write me a check for $1 million. I got to go earn it, and I got to do the hard work. And I thought, how am I going to do this? And I went, I'll just talk about the shit I've been through and share it with people and make people laugh and make people have fun. And I got to tell you something, Mia. The moment I decided to be me again and not try to be anything that I tried to be too many things that I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I tried to be a businessman. I'm not a businessman.
No. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a song and dance guy. That's what I am. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm the guy, you pay the $2 into the circus tent, you come in and I'm juggling chainsaws.
Right.
That's what I do. You know, I can't put the circus together. I don't know how to do that infrastructure. I don't know how to do any of that.
Right.
But what I do know how to do is entertain people. And the moment I started doing it again every day, overnight, my life changed.
Yeah, but that's it. Literally what you just said is it could get worse or
Overnight.
it could get a lot better. And overnight you were feeling like on top of the world probably.
This is what happened. 2013, I hit the emergency brakes on my life because I thought I had to. There was so many things going on. I didn't know what the hell I was going through. My marriage had fallen apart. My kids were little. I had the #1 radio show, everything around me was just spiraling. And I said, whoa, I got to quit. I got to go home. I got to get that straight. I don't know what happened, but I never picked the thing back up again. So for 12 years, basically, it'll be 12 years in June, I just flopped around the planet trying to figure out a way to make money because I thought when I left radio, that was it for me. I thought, all right, you did it, dummy. You came from nowhere. You grew up on Harford Road. like the rest of them poor white trash inner city folk that you grew up with. Not poor white trash, but you know what I mean. Lower
Yeah.
middle class folk, and you made it all the way to the top of what you were doing. That was your run. Congrats.
Yeah.
And I never thought about going, oh, just do it again. Like,
Right.
And then recently I woke up and went, I'm just going to do it again. And I have nothing to lose. I have failure is just what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, are you scared to fail? I went, I'm failing now. All I can do is succeed from here.
Right.
I'm a failure sitting here in every other aspect of my life. But here I can be a winner.
Yeah.
You know, and that can fix things. And I find that, like, when I was talking to you that night, when we did talk about the mental health thing, I think so many people are afraid of being judged.
Oh, definitely.
So now that you've been through that, now that you understand it more, don't you find yourself more attracted, just, I don't mean romantically, just a natural instinct towards someone that has a little bit of fucking problem or a little bit of darkness in them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not like, we'll just give my wife an example. She has mental health issues too. So
Oh, I
it's,
know.
It's like give her a break.
I've been around her. I love the girl.
Oh, she's
she's a
amazing.
sweetheart.
She
Yeah,
is, she
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But and it's not. I didn't get with her to fix her and vice versa. She didn't do that for me. We just connected because we have been through similar things, and my wife is really an amazing person, and I saw that. So that's
Your wife, it's funny, when I talk to you two, I know exactly why your relationship works. I really do. And I'm not going to go into details because that's unfair for me to tell you what you are. But from a distance, from afar, to me, you are your wife, Caitlin. I don't want to keep saying your wife. By the way, I think she's in the chat room.
I'm sure she
and
is.
said hi. Yeah, she did.
Hi, babe.
But she made I noticed her that night. She is a very outgoing, kind of in your face, you know what you're getting kind of girl.
Oh yeah.
And she adores you, man.
Yeah. She does. I do too.
And it was funny, but you have sort of a kind of an old soul, little more reserved. You're fun as hell, don't get me wrong. But there's like you're kind of an old lady in a really hot girl's body.
Yeah, kind of.
You know what I mean by that, right?
No, yeah, I do because I get that often.
Yeah.
You people are like, "Are you really 29? Like, you
Yeah.
look younger,
Yeah, yeah.
but you seem older." Like,
Yeah, talking to you, it's like talking to a lady that's lived a long time, man. And that's a compliment. That's not an insult.
No, I know. I feel like I've lived a million lives, to
Me
be
too.
honest, with
Yeah.
how much like I've gone through. It's just like sometimes I think like how much can one person take, and that's what got me to the point of getting help.
Let me ask you some questions here, and these are just see what you say. Tell me the best attributes about your mom that you inherited. What's the best thing about your mom that you have as well, you think?
Empathy and compassion.
Okay. What's the worst?
Alcohol problems.
Alcohol.
I've been to rehab.
Yeah. Okay, your dad. Best part about your dad that you received.
For protection and love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just kind of unconditional,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Unconditional.
Having talked to your dad now a couple times and getting to know your dad. Your dad and I have hung out without you.
I know.
I met you first, but your dad and I kind of talked.
Yeah.
And we've hung out. I think one of the things you don't even realize that you get from your dad that I've seen, you have this incredible ability to listen to someone, not just hear them and hear the words, but to actually understand. And if he'll stop or you'll say, "What do you mean?" Like you're totally in the conversation the whole way through it. You're not
Definitely.
thinking about what you're going to say next.
No.
You're actually thinking about what I'm saying.
Yeah, I listen to listen, and I don't listen to respond.
Correct. And it's a huge, huge thing and a wonderful gift in a human being. And I think that's an amazing gift that you got from your
Yeah,
dad.
that is true.
I'll tell you something else I think you got from your dad before I say the bad shit you got from your dad, or you say the bad shit. Your dad's like me in a lot of ways, that we're very, very simple men in a lot of ways. We would do anything for our family, including die.
Yeah.
That's not even a question for us.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also these types of men who think sort of old-fashioned, and some people would argue that it's toxic or it's this or that. And it really does come from a place of the way your dad grew up, the way I grew up, the things we experienced, the things we saw, when you have a child or a woman that you love, you don't want them to experience that.
Yeah.
So what I think a lot of women tend to do sometimes is get offended by a man saying, "You're not going there dressed like that," or "You're not going there at that age and hanging out with those people." And I think the other person a lot of times goes, "Who the hell are you to tell me what I can and can't do?" It's not that we're telling people what they can or can't do. It's not that. I know it seems like that and it sounds like that, but it honestly comes from a place of, if you go there and this happens, I'll never forgive me.
Yeah.
I know better than to let this happen. And I love you so much. I'm going to let you scream at me, tell me I'm an asshole, leave, and not talk to me for whatever, because I love you that much.
Yeah.
And
it all comes from like just being men are protectors. That's just
Yes.
point blank. Period.
And I think it's misunderstood sometimes, especially I have a daughter who's younger than you, not much, but she's 21. She'll be 22 actually in 4 days.
Oh, happy birthday!
My love, it's just an amazing young woman, Cassie. But I remember when she was about 14, she was going to a party, and she came downstairs and she said, "Well, you ready to take me to the party?" I said, "As soon as you get dressed." And she was like, "This is what I'm wearing." I said, "You ain't wearing that." And she was like, "Oh my God, Dad, it's like 2017. And I'm like, "Well, in this house, it's 1953. Get upstairs and put some clothes on."
Put a chastity belt on
Yeah.
while you're at
You know what she did, though? She put an outfit on. She went out. I saw pictures. She wore the same thing. She had it on underneath.
Yeah,
She totally tricked me.
I know it. I know it. I'm a girl. I know it.
So I think, like, now let me ask you, what is something that is about your dad that you have that you wish you didn't?
I can get pretty heated, like my temper.
Emotion.
Yeah.
It's passion.
It is passion.
And it comes out awful,
yes,
doesn't
it
it?
does. It does.
Some of that has to do, and I shouldn't put this on race or nationality, but there is something to that Italian thing,
Oh, yeah.
especially Italian men. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't know why. I mean,
I don't know why either, but Italian families are so different.
it's
It's
a different thing.
the fathers are so damn protective. Like,
Yeah.
literally wants to keep you in a box. I think probably most fathers want to do that to their daughter, not let them around.
I mean, I know men who literally were like, "My daughter's not leaving the house till she's 18." I also know men who were like, "She got to learn." And then by the time she was 18, he was a grandfather to 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to pick your battles.
Right.
However, I do think, especially father-daughters, it can be hard, man, because you want your daughter to love you. And, you know, a daughter should think her father is the one man that she can always count on.
Yeah.
No matter what. I've told my daughter, I don't know anything she could do that would make me turn my back on her.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean it. Like,
My dad's the same way.
and I think that is, when you're young, you don't understand that. And I'm wondering if when you were young, your dad was not a tough dad, but he didn't take any shit and he wouldn't let you do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And you probably rebelled against that.
Oh, yeah. I definitely did.
At 30, when you look back, do you look at your dad differently now then? Or do you think, he was a dick then?
No, I look at it differently now. I
You
know.
see the love.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad has been there for me my whole life. Like,
Yeah.
he has never not been at a game or anything like that. He's always been there, and he's always supported. I want to say one thing. He's always supported anything I want to do.
Your dad
I was a
talks-
tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I did a million things.
Speaking of which, look, see this thing right here? All right, so I don't know if the camera could see it. I swore I'd never get a tattoo. Let me tell you why I got this tattoo. Anthony, I need it up higher. Let me show it. Anthony's producing us today, so is that better? Okay. It's not a real tattoo. It's letters. However, I was never going to get a tattoo in my life. I worked at Hammerjacks. All these dudes were tatted up. I always thought I was the coolest guy because I wasn't. So enough people saw it. So, but what I need to do, I was basically bribed by a tattoo artist for the Polar Bear Plunge when I was on 98 Rock. We were raising money for the Special Olympics. And a tattoo artist called me and said, "If you let me give you a tattoo, I'll donate $5,000. Now I'm on the air, and I had a kid that was a Special Olympics athlete sitting right in front of me
Oh
like
my
you
God.
are. Like, what am I going to say? Sorry,
Right?
not doing it.
No way you could do that.
You couldn't do it. So I said, okay. I said, okay. A couple days later, he's in the studio. He goes, all right, man, what kind of tattoo you want? I go, yeah, I don't know. I don't want any dragons and shit, and I don't want any skulls and crossbones. Like, I don't want a tattoo. He goes, what about your kids? I thought, I'm like, can I just get their initials? And he was like, yeah. I go, well, if I'm going to I put my wife on there too, and our wedding anniversary. Now, fortunately, the anniversary, August 16th, is also the anniversary of Elvis Presley's death. So if I could change the last two numbers, I wouldn't mind keeping that. And could we change that J into an E? No, I mean, what I mean is this. I want to get rid of this J and that,
Yeah.
but keep this because it's kids.
Yeah.
Could you do that? Could you fix this somehow?
You would have to put something over top of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Could you put another thing to cover that?
Probably.
Would you do it on the air? Like on this show live?
Probably not.
All right. That's what I want to happen.
I know. I stopped tattooing because it is very stressful putting something on somebody's body permanently. So
Yeah, I hear you.
it became too anxiety ridden for me. So
Yeah.
I kind of.
But you definitely talking to you have an artistic thing about you.
I do. I'm a painter.
Yeah.
I love to paint. It's like my little getaway.
Yeah.
I do even things like coloring books. And I'm like 29. I'm like.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was in the nut house, I colored the shit out of
Oh,
the
yeah,
books, man. Ain't a whole lot else to do.
Like, can I bring my blankie to the room and color?
When you were in and you were getting help, did you feel like you were getting help while it was happening, or did you think at the time, man, this is bullshit. I can't wait till this is over.
Well, when I got there, I kind of realized I wasn't as crazy as I thought I was because there were people literally jumping through the ceiling and like, trying to hang themselves and like screaming all over the place. So I really honestly don't think it was a good place for me to be.
Right.
The first place I went was in Delaware, and I didn't go outside for the whole week that I was there.
Yeah.
I ate terrible food. It was like kind of like being in jail. I don't feel like I got much from that or when I did my second stay, really.
Yeah.
I think it all really came down to, even though I was in therapy so long, I wasn't putting in the work.
Right.
And nothing's going to get better unless you put in that work to make yourself better.
100%.
And now that I do that, I like self-care, all that stuff, therapy, and you get sick of being so depressed and anxiety and all that. You just got to do something about it.
Did you ever like put your darkness onto canvas? Did you ever paint like dark, morbid shit?
Yeah.
So as a comedian, I write dark, morbid. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you, when I came out of the last one, my last time in, where I really did get well, and I'm still waiting if I want to talk to the place I was before I say where it was on here, because I don't want to give them I don't want them to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna check, but hopefully they'll let me. I actually want to have a specific 2 people in here from there if they'll do it. But let me tell you what I did learn there. And it was about, I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I learned what value meant. What is actually worth something in your life. When you have nothing, you've bottomed out, you've moved back into a place that you never thought you'd be in your life, and you're so humbled. And you literally are looking around a room that's not as big as this one, and you're sleeping in it. And you used to live in a $8,000 square foot, an 8,000 square foot house. You had cars, you had everything, you had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, and now you got $4 in your pocket. Somebody's lending you a pillow. Like, it was that low for me.
Yeah.
Recently.
Right.
And that's where you learn everything. When you have nothing. And one of the darkest things I ever wrote. You were the one I'm waiting for to tell this bit to, because you've been there. So I describe it like this. At my lowest, I felt like I was in a hole. And it was 20 feet deep. And the walls were completely slick, almost glass-like. You couldn't crawl out.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck at the bottom of this hole. And every day I look up and no one walks by the hole. And then one day a guy walks by and he looks down and he goes, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm stuck. I need somebody to help me get out of here. This is terrible." And he goes, "Only thing I have here is my Ferrari. You can have it." And I go, "Nah, that Ferrari's worthless. I appreciate it, but there's no good in it.
Yeah.
No value."
Right.
A couple more days go by. I'm just miserable. I'm not eating, looking up out of this hole like, oh my, I'm not going to make it. I can't go on much longer. Guy walks up, looks down. He says, "Hey, man, you okay?" I go, "No, I'm stuck. Can you help me?" He goes, "I don't have anything. I had this Rolex watch. You can have that." And I'm like, dude, I know it's worth $100,000, but it means nothing to me.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in this hole. And then I sit there for a long time and I'm just sick of it all. I'm ready to check out. And then one day a guy looks over the hole and he looks down and he sees me. He says, "Hey man, you okay?" I go, "No, I'm not. I'm stuck here. Never going to get out." He goes, I have a rope. And I go, oh my God, you have a rope? And he's like, "Yes." I go, "Throw it." And he throws the rope down. And then I tied it around my neck and hung myself because it was... That's like the darkest thing I could think of.
I love that.
But you have to, like, you get it.
Yeah,
That's why
absolutely.
you're laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Because you understand how ridiculous it can be sometimes. The sadness, the darkness, the I can't get out of this. This is never going to get better. This sucks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, 3 weeks ago, I started this show. I had nothing. Thousands and thousands of people are watching this show every day. My phone starts ringing every morning about people wanting to know how they can be a part of it and sponsor it. And people that are listening to it are saying, "Wow, this is cool. You know, I haven't really heard a show like this before." And let me be honest with everyone. I have no idea what I'm doing. I show up every day. I turn the mic on. I'm fortunate enough to have a guy like Matt Davis here every day with me who just basically says, "Dude, we're in the water. Let's start sailing." And we
Yeah.
just sail every day. And it's just been amazing. And talking to you guys, you and your wife that night, you kind of told me how, like, you were at that point. And then when you met your wife, things just, you have now started to move into the right direction.
Yeah, I feel like
it's so beautiful to see.
I feel like I'm like moving to the light. Like I don't know. It's something about after my mom died. I really thought I was gonna be like this broken person
Yeah.
who I really thought like I was gonna end up killing myself.
Yeah, I've
Because
been there.
we were so close. And she was my best friend. But I like I said, I can't really explain why I'm so strong right now.
Yeah.
But it has been the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to me because had I said, you know, when my mom passed, tomorrow's going to be worse than today,
Yeah.
nothing's ever going to get better,
Right.
I may have killed myself that night.
Yeah, of course.
But instead, I gave it another day,
Right.
and things changed. Things turned around. Don't give up, anybody listening. Please just don't give up. There is help out there. There are people here who love you, you know. I think it's super important that you're here on this earth, whoever's listening.
Well, you know, it's funny. Have you ever gotten advice from somebody that really doesn't understand depression or anxiety and you just want to punch them right in their face?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I've had people look at me and go, "Dude, you just got to cheer up." And I go, "Fuck, that's it."
I'm like,
Tom, thank you.
Why didn't I think of
I
that?
had no idea that all I needed to do was just cheer up. I am an idiot. Thank you, Dave, or whatever your name is, right? You just have no idea. Or they'll say things like, "Dude, it ain't that bad."
I know.
Oh, okay. Last night I wrote a note. Like, tell me it's not that bad.
Right.
So one of the other things about depression, anxiety, mental health issues are the people around you that don't understand them get frustrated. And their frustration is from an honest place. They love you.
Yeah.
They just don't understand because to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense from the outside.
Yeah.
You know, people you say to me all the time, "Dude, you're popular. You know, you got a great life. Everybody that knows who you are. Like, everywhere you go, you're the belle of the ball, so to speak." Like, and you go, "Yeah, that's great." But, you know, I get in my car after a show and I'm driving home and I'll cry because I'm like, I'm miserable. It is so horrible
It really
at times, you know. But the thing that I think you and I do right now that helps people, there isn't anyone on earth that ever suffered from getting help.
No, never.
I don't know one person that ever said, "I'll tell you what, I got help. It fucked my life all up."
Right?
I mean, I got that help, and Jesus, nothing was good from there on out.
You've never heard that,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Yeah,
ever.
Ever.
And I think that ego, I guess, or pride, which is one of the dumbest things in the world.
Yeah.
Not that you shouldn't have pride in yourself.
Right.
But when your pride or your ego or shame gets in the way of making yourself better, That's the dumb shit that
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
People like us do.
Right.
We go, oh, I can't let anybody know.
Yeah.
I like that girl. She can't know I'm batshit crazy. She'll never want to talk to me,
Right.
right? And then you find out and you meet her and she's twice as
I
batshit
know,
crazy
right?
as you are. And I think that goes for anyone. Like
Yeah.
I just think that there's times in people's lives, Mia, where you sit back and you take account for yourself. That was the big thing I did. I had to look finally in the mirror and go, all that shit you complain about, you know who's to blame? That person I'm looking at in the mirror right now.
Exactly.
It's
It all
me.
comes from here.
Yeah.
It all comes from within. Everything you feel about yourself, it just takes work. Like it takes patience and
Yeah.
time for you to learn yourself really, and then that's how you figure out, how to keep going. Because when you don't
I
truly
wish
know
your mom and
yourself-
your mom and dad would have had another child that's about 20 years older than you that I could date. That was just like you. You know what I mean? You're like
A straight version.
Yeah, well, you just had this amazing kind of understanding. It took me to 56. You're 30, and you're gonna have 26 years of your life left. That I'm at now, you're going to live it different than I did because you've already been to that place. And you're going to struggle, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not stupid. I'm going to have moments.
Yeah.
But I think we know what they are, when they are, and how they are now.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference.
Yeah, and it's also learning coping mechanisms too, like
Yeah.
what will get you out of your head for even a minute, because sometimes a minute seems like 3 hours when you're stuck in this depression.
I'll tell you the funniest story. So when I was really, end of last year, before I got help, I was so aggravated just breathing. I literally walked around like every day, every moment.
I know that feeling.
And I would get so pissed off, and I would text someone, and I'd be like, I can't believe they didn't text me back. How long's it been? And I'd look, 9 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're losing it.
Yeah.
Time goes crazy. And it's like, when you get to that place, I'm telling anyone listening, pick up a phone. You can't fix it. You can't. You have to let somebody help you. You have to let somebody guide you.
Yeah.
Just guide you. And
Yeah.
when I got guidance, wow. That's
Yeah.
why I'm doing this show. Because I just finally shut up. For once in my 56 years, I went, hey, idiot, why don't you stop talking for a minute? That's why the show called Mickey Talks. Because I missed all the smart shit in my life because I was too busy talking. I didn't listen to people smarter than me because I thought everyone wanted to hear me.
Yeah.
And then when I finally said, wow, there's some really smart sons of bitches out here that know some shit. And it's humbling, man. It is humbling when someone looks at you and goes, shut the fuck up at your worst.
I know.
And they're like, what? Listen to me. And you go, okay. And then you do, and you go, oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Did that happen for you? Was there a person that just was able to say something to you that you went, I trust this person, I'm going to let them guide me, whether it was a therapist?
Yeah, my last therapist, the therapist I have now,
Yeah.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
Just like that human connection, right? And just somebody understanding you and then guiding you on how to fix all these problems you have or your thoughts and like
Yeah.
coping mechanisms, stuff like that. If I didn't have that expert guidance,
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd be today.
May not be anywhere.
Yeah, I
get it.
I might be 6 feet under if I didn't get help.
I'm going to tell you an interesting, to me it's interesting, story. When I was at the height of my success with the radio and comedy, I had a therapist named Jen Valley. I don't even care if, I think I can say her name. She was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
She and her husband had a chance to move to Tennessee, and she had to. And it was great for her career and his, and I'm so happy for them. But it was truly like one of the saddest days of my life.
Yeah.
And at the time, she tried to help me in other ways. I couldn't afford it, and I can't blame her. She's got to make a living. But she was just so good. And over the years, I've had other therapists where I'm like, I know you mean well, but it's just not connected.
Yeah.
You don't get me.
Yeah. It
You
takes,
don't get me.
Yeah.
And when you find someone that does, I've told this to people, you say, oh, I need to go to therapy. First thing you need to do is find a therapist. And that doesn't mean go to therapy once and talk. Because you need to go and say, I need to know about you. Like, I need to feel connected here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to talk. And if 2 or 3 times you're not feeling anything, schedule another one with someone else.
I think people get discouraged when they try to find a therapist.
Yes.
Because it does take a little while to find somebody you really click with. And I think it's super important that you really click with your therapist because if not, it's not as effective, I don't think. Because I had
Yeah.
a therapist for, like about 10 years, the same therapist.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I just don't feel like this is really helping.
Yeah,
Also,
you mean while you're in therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there 100 times.
Yeah, and when I found, I'll name her Dawn Gomez, amazing therapist
Yeah.
in the Hartford County area.
Yeah.
And when I met her, it's like we were friends already.
Yeah.
It's like I walked in the room, I felt so comfortable.
That's how I felt with Jen,
Yeah.
my therapist then. I mean, and she's gone on to have an unbelievable career. Like she specialized in something, which I'm gonna try my hardest to have her on this show one day.
That would be awesome.
And I'm gonna reach out to her. But she's amazing. And when you find somebody that just gets you, that's when things work.
Yeah.
Because there's a trust.
Right.
That's the other thing I want to talk to people about. If you're in a relationship or you have a child that has difficulty, or your partner or whatever it is has difficulty, or you have difficulty and you want to talk to your loved one about it, you may not be the right person and you can't get offended by that. It's not for you, it's for the sick person. The person who's hurting needs to feel comfortable. So when sometimes somebody will say, just talk to me, I want to hear you, and then they'll say something and you don't even mean it, you'll go, no, just stop.
Yeah.
It's because you're frustrated that this person, they're not understanding you.
Yeah.
And they're very close to you and they love you, which is why a lot of times that understanding isn't good.
Right.
Because you love them so much, you want them to be happy. It's almost hard for you to remove that and then be dark and low with them and understand that the
Right.
shit they're saying to you can actually be about you sometimes.
Right.
You know, and that was something I had to learn, that when you want to help someone through something, they may say something to you that you do that bothers them. You can't be defensive in that moment.
No.
You have to be accountable.
Yeah.
Even if later you come back and you say, hey, Mia, listen, a couple weeks ago, you said that I don't respond to you, or I didn't say this the right way. And I want you to know I heard you and I've been thinking about it. And I feel like I do. Can you explain to me how I could do it better?
Yeah.
And I find that, like, people that want to heal and people that truly love someone, if you can put your ego aside and you can put your sort of judgment or the way it makes you feel aside and just be there,
Yeah.
90% of it is just shutting up and letting the moron, me, spew. Just
Yeah.
let me talk.
There are times where I feel like I'm just
It's like verbal
pouring out-
diarrhea.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
verbal
yeah.
diarrhea. I could talk for hours about mental health. I really can because
Yeah, me too.
I've been through so much stuff that it's
Let's
crazy.
talk about something happy for a second.
Yeah,
Back to your
let's do
wife
that.
and your lesbian relationship. So when you guys go out now, anybody give you shit, or is those days over?
Nobody gives us shit.
Nobody
I
cares.
honestly think lesbians have it the easiest.
Of course you do. Yeah. No guy's ever sat down as a young man and said, man, tonight I'm going to go out and try to watch two dudes have sex.
Right?
Never
No.
happened. Two girls all day long.
I think lesbians have it the easiest.
Yeah.
I think gay men and trans really that's
I actually think gay men, it's getting easier. I think a lot of society, that when someone says they're gay, meaning they date the same sex, most people now don't give a rat's ass.
yeah, but there's a lot of men who are a little cocky about themselves and they think that every gay person they're around wants them. So
Oh, I don't think any gay person. I let me tell you something. If I was a gay man, I would not want to have sex with. I don't find me attractive. So there's no way.
beautiful. Stop
No,
it.
yeah, right. So there's no way I would think that a gay man would love me. And I don't get weirded out. I'm not going to lie. When I was younger and I saw two dudes making out, there was a part of me, I'm going to be honest, where I was like, the fuck? That's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And part of that's just naivete, ignorance, insecurity,
Yeah.
all that. And I'm smart enough and grown enough now to admit that. But now, like, I see two guys, I'm jealous. They look so happy. They're always dressed nice. Their house is impeccable. They drive great cars. They have great finance. Like, it's everything except the penis is awesome. If I didn't have to touch penises and I could be gay, I would do it all day long.
Oh my God, Mickey, you're gonna make me roll on the floor laughing.
Seriously, if I could be gay without the extra dick, I would be in heaven.
Well, find yourself a trans.
I think I want to date a very butch woman is what I'm looking for, apparently. If I can find me a real butch bitch.
Yeah, we need like the short hair.
This looks like me.
Yeah, exactly.
I need me. Trust me, there are a million gay women that look just like me.
No, you're right.
I got a better shot at dating a gay woman than I do a gay man. I'll tell you that much. Mia, I think when people truly get real about themselves and the world we're living in now, a lot of this shit doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is virtue signaling and attention. And I don't say this is just with the gay community. I mean, it's across the board, whoever you are. Everybody has a special interest. Everybody has this, I'm that, I'm this, use these pronouns, do this, do that.
It's kind of too confusing for me.
It got to a point where I was just like, my pronoun for you guys is just assholes. Every one of you are assholes right now, yelling at me that I didn't say he or she, and you're wearing a dress with a beard. If I fucked it up, is that my fault? Like, I don't know.
No, they shouldn't get mad. They should just. I feel like they should just tell you. Like,
why can't they just go, I get it, I know. That's the thing I don't get. Like, if a dude walked up to me and he's like, excuse me, ma'am, I'd go, what's up? Like, I could care less.
Yeah.
If he thought I was a butch lesbian, it doesn't matter. And I do think a lot of this is it's just horse shit. Like, and if at the same time, society looks at people and we just go, hey, why don't you just leave us alone? Like,
I get that.
do your thing, man. I don't care.
I get that.
Just go do your thing. I don't want to have a 2-hour special about it.
Right.
Like, yeah, you want to dress like a woman? You think you're a woman? Have at it, lady.
Right.
I couldn't care. I could care less. Which one is it? Couldn't care less.
Care less.
Yeah, I always screw that up. But yeah, I'm at a point now where I just think if you're a good person, if you're just a decent human being, that's good enough for me.
That's how I am.
Don't have sex with kids. Don't rob people.
Yep.
Don't harm people. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care how many people you sleep.
Because at the end of the day, who somebody sleeps in their bed with at night, what is that going to do?
Does nothing.
It doesn't affect anybody.
Right.
It's just people have certain old views and stuff like that, which I understand, especially the older people. But
your wife said her pronouns are "try me, bitch."
oh my God, that is literally.
For those people in the chat room right now, there's a lady in there named Mia Trionfo, and that is her. That is Mia's wife, and she is hilarious.
She is so funny.
So say hi to Caitlin as well, another beautiful, funny young lady who I've had the pleasure of meeting. Mia, I think these kinds of conversations are not only overdue, they're really the conversations people are having.
Yeah.
And for some reason on media, whether it's online, whether it's television, radio, everybody you can't talk about this candidly. I'm like, well, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Watch. I'm going to do it.
Right.
That's why I said this show. I was so excited because it's everything I've wanted to get into with someone that's clearly not the same as me.
Right.
You have a different life experience than I do.
Right.
Yet I'm fascinated by it, and I find you I find you to be an incredible person to talk to about all of it because of how centered you are now with yourself. I know you know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what makes you so engaging and makes you so, likable. No matter what. Like, I don't care who you're sleeping with.
Right.
If I'd have met you and you said, I don't even sleep with people. I'm asexual. I don't have sex. I enjoy, hanging out with you, talking to you.
Yeah.
That's connection.
It's just human connection.
Yeah.
That we all need. We all crave it.
Yep.
And meeting people out at the bar, like I met you, like that was a beautiful experience. Like
I loved it.
We had amazing conversation
Yeah.
that night. I had amazing conversation with Shannon that night.
Yeah.
Like we had a ball, and it's just about making those connections with people.
Yep.
I think it's so important that people try to be as raw as you can with the world, because
I also
really-
do, though. I do understand people's insecurities.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do understand people not being comfortable. Look, I'm an entertainer.
Right.
I walk on stage by myself in front of hundreds of people, sometimes thousands, and I have every single person's attention, right?
Right.
Which by definition could be considered the most narcissistic idea, that I'm going to walk in a room and command everyone's attention in it. Not a couple, every single person. And if while I'm talking, you talk, you get thrown out. Think about the ego you have
Yeah.
to say, well, that's what I want to do. I've often said that, like, being a comedian or an entertainer, you're a narcissist with low self-esteem. Like, it makes no sense. It's like, everybody listen to me, but please like me. Like,
I know.
it's really a mind fuck sometimes.
Yeah, it does sound like it.
But I think for me, when I'm able to talk about the stuff personally that I'm talking about, it's because I've talked about such crazy other shit on stage that I knew that if I talked about real shit, people would gravitate towards it.
Yeah,
Because we hear enough bullshit every day.
Yeah, it's so refreshing. Like, I've watched almost all of the podcasts you've
Thank
done,
you.
and it's just so refreshing. You're like
Thank
just
you.
having real conversations with real people,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful.
You know, I think I was gonna say, you ever go to a bar and talk to somebody?
No, not you, Mickey.
Have you ever missed a day where you go to a bar and talk to someone? What I mean is this: when you go out, whether it's a bar, you're at a bowling alley, it doesn't matter. You meet somebody, you talk to them for 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, you say, "I never want to talk to this person again." Is one choice. I want to talk to this person for a little bit; they're cool, and then you think to yourself, "I hope I talk to this person the rest of my life."
Yeah.
Like when I met you, there wasn't. I want to be careful the way I say this so it doesn't come across weird. Like, you and your wife, when we were talking, like, I wasn't attracted to you, like, sexually.
Right.
Like, I'm going to get this girl.
Right.
But I knew, wow, this young lady is really cool soul. Like, this is conversation I like sitting around having, talking about real shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I want to take it one step further. It taught me something, that meeting people like, and there's other people that I've met like yourself, all walks of life. And when you meet those people, there's just something about talking to them that gives you a feeling that you really can't describe the feeling,
Yeah.
but you know it.
Yeah.
And when you have that, like your dad and I, when we talked, I'm like, all right, this is a guy I wish I would have been friends with for the last 40 years of my life.
Right.
But I'm going to be friends with them for the rest of the years of mine and his life. You know what I mean? So when you meet people like that, those are the conversations that you remember in life.
Oh yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
thought, why not do a show with just those conversations?
Yeah, and it's perfect.
And people can tune in and tune out.
Yeah.
You know, I've been blown away by how many people are watching,
Yeah.
and how many people are finding it interesting. It's a little overwhelming, considering a month ago I didn't have a job, I had no money, I had nothing, and here I am on episode Lucky 13.
I know, right?
I'm so glad it was you. I swear,
I know,
because I'm
right?
like, she's a good luck charm, so it's okay.
Yep.
But here I am, basically 2.5 weeks into this, if you add up the shows, and I feel like I did 15 years ago. Like, I'm floating. And
I can tell.
I still have a lot of work to do and a lot of shit to clean up. And I'll tell you something. I had, Jesus Christ, I can't believe how honest I am, Dan. All right, when I was very successful, I had an accountant who had all my tax shit. And they were going to file all my taxes. Well, a lot of shit didn't get done.
Oh,
And I
my
had
God.
to go today to address some things because it's screwing me up with some other things.
Yeah.
And I found out some things today that was very overwhelming, and I got to figure out how to deal with. But for the first time in my life, I would have been screaming, "This is bullshit." I sat there in that office with this very nice young woman who basically works for the state, and she told me the situation. And when she said the unbelievable, heartbreaking news, I swear to God, went like this. We'll get through it, because now I believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen what can happen for me when things are going good, and how quickly and how much I can produce and earn.
Yeah.
And I just haven't been healthy. And so I'm like, all right, man, we'll figure it out. I believe in this.
Yeah.
And when I met you, like, I believe in you. it's interesting when you meet someone and you know, like, I believe in this person. Whatever they're going to do, I want to be a part of it. I want to help. I want to be around them. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way about you. Like we
Thank
just
you.
clicked. We had such
Yeah.
good conversations. It was
I
so
wish
much
I was a
fun.
lesbian. For real, I'd join it would be a threesome. We'd have. I don't mean sexually, Frank. Sorry, your dad's in the room.
We'll have
But
like polygamy.
yeah, that's what I was trying to
marriage.
get at. Yeah, what would I be, the second wife? Was
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, would it be like, what was that show on HBO about all the Mormons?
Oh,
I love that
Sister
show.
Wives or
Oh,
something?
no. It was with somebody in the chat room. Was such a great show. What's his name? Bill Paul. What was his name? Oh, the act. Oh, my God.
Don't have an aneurysm over there.
No, it was Mormons in Utah, and he had multiple wives. The girl from, what's it called? Yeah, it was about polygamy. Somebody write the name of that show. Brother, something. I can't remember. Something love. I don't know. It was all about, sister
Yeah.
wives. I'd be fine with that. I've often said, guys have asked me, man, wouldn't it be awesome to be Mormon? And I go, yup. And they go, have all them wives? I go, yup. And they go, have all that sex? I went, nope. They go, what do you mean? I go, let me tell you why I'd want multiple wives. Not to have sex with a bunch of other women. You just wouldn't have to talk to any of them.
If they all talk to each
yeah,
other.
just talk to me. I'm over here if you need a light bulb changed. One of you want to get laid, you know where to find me. I'll fix a light bulb. Let me know when the car needs an oil change. Anything else, the kids shit, like talking, you got problems, you got 8 of you. Figure it out. That would be my ideal life. Whoever the first wife is, she gets the sex. The other 7, I'll pay the bills. Just leave me alone. That's what I want polygamy for. Just to get shit done and I don't have to do it.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Big Love. Big Love was the name of the show. Do you
Okay.
have HBO
Yes,
Max?
yes.
Go back and watch that.
Okay.
It was just a great show. And you'll get what I'm talking about.
I definitely will.
Mia, do you know we've been talking for 70 minutes?
Are you kidding me?
No, it's 6:11.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
No way.
We went on at 5.
I
Right,
did-
Anthony? We went on basically at 5, right?
That's
Is there
incredible.
a time on there that says 1 hour and 11 minutes? I'm sorry, 71 minutes.
That's incredible.
Mia, listen, you are truly an interesting spirit. This isn't religious, but I do believe that everybody has a spirit in them. Some people call it the Holy Spirit, whatever. I was
Yeah.
raised Catholic. I'm at a point now where I go, I think God's real. I don't get it all, but I'm not an atheist anymore. I'm just confused
Yeah.
and figuring it out. But I do believe there's something that lives in all of us. And what's alive inside of you is a very, very cool, wonderful, warm, beautiful soul.
Thank you.
And that has been through hell and back. But the point is that you made it.
Yeah.
And
I
that-
like to say my success rate is 100%.
It is 100%.
It is.
You're sitting here
I'm
right
sitting
now.
here right now.
And that's the most beautiful way to put that. And to anybody watching this show and you thought, I didn't expect shit to get this heavy. It's really not. It's really not heavy. What it is honest and pure. So anyone out there, if you're in it and you're suffering, if you're addicted, if you're confused, if you're obsessive, you can get help. And there's no shame in it. None.
Absolutely.
Look at me. Mr. Big Time, right? Mr. Big Radio Guy, Mr. Big Comedian, sold out the Hippodrome, talked to the entire Raven Stadium with 70,000 people in it with a microphone. Anywhere I go in town, most people, hey, Mickey, what's up? Yeah, that guy, total loser. Total, absolute loser in most of my life. Had nothing, have nothing. And I'm sitting here because I got help and I got honest. So if you're suffering or you're hurting, don't call me. I'm not a doctor. Call me and I'll encourage you. I will encourage anyone. I'm not the answer. I'm a person who found an answer. And I'm just trying to share that answer with you. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about clinically. I only know what I'm talking about emotionally and honestly. And Mia, I can promise you this. Just knowing you for the little bit of time that I have, you will figure out in your life what you're awesome at and
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. And I'm going to tell you this. Whatever that thing is, I will guarantee you, you will be amazing at it.
Thank you, Mickey.
Because you have passion, you have a soul, and you're honest. And when you have those 3 things, all that other shit's easy to make. Money, simple. I
Yeah.
made more money, Mia. I, when I think about it, I get pissed because I'm like, I could use some of it right now.
Right.
But what I didn't have was clarity, and I didn't have honesty, and I didn't have conviction.
Yeah.
Because I was a bullshit artist. That's all I ever did. I just bullshitted my way through life. I'm a comedian.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. This is cool. Let's do that. See you Thursday. Yeah, you know. I was that guy for 56 years, and then when that stopped working, I went, oh shit.
Yeah.
The bullshit meter went off. Time to get real. You know, and now that I got real and I'm being honest, and I still have a long way to go, shit's working.
Yeah.
And I think the world of you. I think the world of your father. Your father also, I want to say this because he's a wonderful man, and he helped me in a lot of ways. And every time him and I have talked, he's brought your mother up, and I know what that losing your mother, his wife, has done to him as well.
Yeah.
And you two go out all the time together with your wife, the three of you, and you go have dinner and you hang out and you see bands, and it's the most beautiful thing. And if you have your dad and your dad has you, that's all you'll ever need in life.
Absolutely. I cherish my relationship with my father so much, and we've grown so much together since my mom has passed. It's just been beautiful.
And, you know, it's funny. I know you encourage your dad to get out in the world.
Yes.
And to, you know, maybe date. And your dad's a wonderful man.
That was my mom's wish. Let's
Right,
just say that.
yes, and I'm sorry, I should have prefaced it with that. Your mother wanted your father to go on and have a happy life.
Yeah, she wanted
your
him to
mother,
find a companion.
Your mother also knew, though, the reason she was able to say that to your father is because your mother knew that she was the love of his life.
Absolutely.
No woman will ever replace her.
Oh, no. No way.
But understand this. I say this with humility. Let your dad do it. You know what I mean? Like
I do.
I get you.
I give a little encouragement.
I know.
I usually talk to the women.
Yeah.
Just because I'm out smoking a cigarette or something, and I start talking, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, you should probably go talk to this."
Well,
one.
I think the reason you're actually talking to women is because you're a woman. And
No,
that's
that
what
too.
you guys
I
do.
mean that too. I have a lot of male friends.
You do, though.
so-
But you're easy to talk to. I'll say that.
Right back at you.
Mia, first of all, thank you so much for doing this show. And thank you to your wonderful wife, Caitlin, who meeting you two was very good, not only for my soul, but for, I think for this show, because it was one of those nights where I left thinking, there's a sign. Like, people are coming into my life for a reason and telling stories for a reason. And this is important. And I don't know why, but I don't know what it's going to do for others, but I think I need to do it. And thank you for letting me do it.
Thank you, Mickey. Talking about this is super important to me.
Yeah.
And, I thank you for bringing me on the show because...
Of course. You don't need to thank me, believe me.
No, but it has been a beautiful day.
Well,
A
without
beautiful
you
night.
today, I would have been sitting here talking to this chat room and not knowing what the hell I was going to say.
If you ever need me back, I'll be here.
Mia, you are a beautiful woman inside and out. You were a joy to talk to. Let me ask you this question, though, before I actually wrap it up. Tell me your dream. What would be Mia's ideal dream life? What do you want to do?
God. I actually want to become a paramedic.
Why don't you? What's stopping you?
Because right now I'm starting a new job and I have to become EMT at first.
Right.
And at the school starts at 5:30 and I don't get off work till 6:30. So I have to find a different school to do it at that does weekends. But once I find that, then I'm gonna.
That's your
Up to the
dream.
moon. Yeah.
Good for you.
I want to help as many people as I possibly can.
You're a wonderful human being. I hope you achieve every dream you've ever wanted to achieve. I hope you find all the happiness you're looking for. Your dad's a great man. You're lucky to have a father like that, and he's lucky to have a daughter like you after losing such a wonderful woman like your mother and his wife. I'm honored to be friends with the both of you now. I look forward to spending time with you guys and getting to know you even more. And thank you so much. Continued growth, continued success, and nothing but love from me.
Right back at you, buddy.
Thank you, Mia. Everybody, listen, Monday through Friday, we do this show, 5 o'clock usually. I know sometimes things are going on and we bump it around. It's getting settled. There's huge things happening, guys, and it's because of you all that have been watching. Next week, there's going to be some announcements that are going to blow some people's minds. You're not going to believe some of this stuff, and it's all because of you. and me being totally insane enough to try this. So thank you, everyone. Anthony, you're going to hit end live when I tell you. Everybody, thanks. Well, I'll see you Monday back. Please check out the Facebook page for upcoming comedy shows. Please support live entertainment anywhere. And as always, love each other because that's all you got. See you guys soon. Thanks, Anthony.